Much for joining us tonight. A capital murder trial in Smith County ended today with a guilty verdict. 58-year-old Herbert Simpson is one of 3 people accused in the murder of Warren Rogers, making Simpson the first to be convicted. KLTV7's Michael Richardson has more tonight on the evidence and testimony that led to the jury's decision.
The jury find the defendant, Herbert Simpson, guilty of capital murder as charged in the indictment.
The guilty verdict wraps up 3 days of testimony that featured Warren Rogers' children, detectives, and more. The jury deliberated for less than 2 hours before they came to their decision. 2 witnesses took the stand today, Ashley Kelly and Amber Moss with the Texas Department of Public Safety. They testified to the DNA evidence, fingernails and blood found that indicated Herbert Simpson's guilt.
The DNA evidence that we had in the case, I think, was particularly helpful to the jury's decision, and the x-ray of his hand with the bullet still in his hand, I think, was also pretty helpful.
That x-ray showing a bullet in Simpson's hand. The state, during closing arguments, pointed out the proximity of the shooting, showing it was a robbery.
This wasn't a shot that was even taken from a distance of 10 to 15 feet. This was close range, intimate, and brutal.
Defense attorney Zach Davis says much of the evidence was circumstantial.
And with the information that you have received, there is no way you can come back with a guilty finding for capital.
The jury rejected that. Simpson is considered a co-conspirator in the case. The others, Stephanie Brasher and Anthony Taylor, have been arrested and are awaiting trial. Michael Richardson, KLTV7 News.
Herbert Simpson will serve life in prison without the possibility of parole.